lads. Hello, lads. Steering lock. Yes. Hang on. Immobiliser. There we go. Oh, belt squeal. Need to tighten that belt up, yo. We'll stop in a minute, I promise you.
5 hours later.
Okay. Well, yes, we are going down to Wales today to see Steve about the misfire codes. Oh. Posting bell. We're going down to see Steve today in Wales to have a look at this misfire. We're gonna get it on his magical computer, and we're gonna see what's cracking, see what's causing the misfires, even though there are no misfires. But it's a lovely day. It's nice and warm. Sun's out, guns out. He just looked at me like a knob, but I don't care. So I'm gonna get some fuel in a minute. V-power. I've actually started putting V-power in it. I've got a Shell driver's club cars now. We're on the ting, but oh my god, it's expensive, but it's alright. Stella, well, I think she likes it. She can't talk, but you know. Anyway, I'm trying on, lads, but I'll see you when we get there. I've got the GoPro behind us. I might get a few pretty shots.
There must be more to life than this. Reaching for the stars, traveling so far, like a dragonfly. Just grab my hand from heaven's send. With me tonight, I run away.
Let's kill him, lads. Afternoon. You alright? Look at this thing. This is cool, this thing. Always confuses me how a lot of rally cars are white with white wheels. Like, just so much cleaning. Put it green, put it brown. God, all the cleaning you gotta do. Lockwood's worst nightmare. That is his Skyline. He said he picked it up a few years ago for £5 grand. Oh, it's worth about 10 this now, easy. Oh, jealous. Right, yeah, so the code, it came on first of it after probably around about 200 miles. Yeah. And it said misfire all 4 cylinders. But it didn't drive any differently from before it came on than after it came on. Nothing whatsoever.
It won't, because it won't actually change anything.
Right.
It doesn't sort of go into limp mode or anything like that.
Right. Because I thought if it's missing an all 4, it wouldn't be driving. No, in a way.
It can't be missing. Really.
That's it. Yeah, it says misfire 1, 2, 3, 4. On it, and I wiped it off, thought it was nothing, and it come back. Then I cleaned some of the sensors, come back, and then now it comes back quicker and quicker and quicker.
And it's when you're pulling away.
It's usually when it's just starting to warm up, and when I'm just slowly pulling away from a night light. Like say if I'm literally not even putting any gas down, just really slowly coming away from the light's clutch, and then it'll just come on.
Right.
It's definitely not under load.
Explain how it detects what it thinks is a misfire.
Right.
You imagine you've got your sort of firing order is 1, 3, 2, 4 on a Subaru.
Yeah.
So if you imagine the engine running at any revs really, in that period of time it takes to fire all those 4 cylinders. Say it's at 3,000 RPM, that's basically 2 sparks every rev. The time interval between consecutive spark events would be 0.01 of a second, right? So it's a tiny amount of time. It's like 1/10,000th of a second. And what the ECU looks for is to see, right, that one's fired, and I expect 0.01 a second later that one will fire, and then that one, and that one. And if everything's running smoothly, that's what will happen. Now, if you can imagine, say, number 1 cylinder had a misfire, it didn't burn properly, then that piston will go down slower.
Right.
Because obviously it's not got the energy. So the time to fire the next cylinder, number 3, would be longer. Say it's 0.015 of a second, and then the next one would go back to 0.01 second, and the next one would go back to 0.01 second.
Right.
So if it sees a long time on cylinder 3, it says, cylinder 1 must have had a misfire.
Right.
And that's what it does. It's not actually measuring lambda or anything like that, because it can't. All the exhaust, there's one lambda sensor up in your head up pipe. All the exhaust gases are mixed together. It can't individually detect the lambda. What it looks for is those time intervals, and if something goes adrift, it says, okay, that must have been slow. So it's looking for a rate of change of speed. Now, if you think about it, to get all 4, it's got to have some serious speeds moving all over the place. And I've seen this before, where if you've got a lightened flywheel,
right,
and your clutch is slightly,
which this has,
which I found out yesterday, because I suddenly thought, I'm sure this had a lightened flywheel when we did it. Because
when we took the gearbox out, Richard, because we wasn't 100% sure if it got put back in again, but Richard said it had. Yeah.
And if you're getting maybe a slight bit of judder as you're moving away, then it can sometimes think, I've got a miss.
Right.
But we'll go out, we'll have a run, we'll see what I can log.
Yeah.
But I've got a suspicion it's going to be something
There's something
like
to do with
that.
the clutch.
Because as you say, if you think about it, it can't really miss with no load at 1400 RPM.
Because it does sometimes when you pull off the lights, it is kind of like a bit kangaroo-y. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And that's when it comes on.
Sometimes.
Well, that's what's happening. You see, it's getting what's called ringing.
Right.
The engine revs are sort of going like that, so it's thinking, misfire.
Right.
The time intervals aren't constant like they should be.
Right.
It's a misfire, and it's saying all 4 of them are misfiring. Okay. The light flywheel is not going to help, because obviously the heavy flywheel damps out those fluctuations.
Right.
So that doesn't help. And if you've got a bit of clutch judder on it, if it's a little juddery, which is just the clutch.
Yeah.
But I mean, what we can do, the sort of easy solution, we can turn those codes off.
Yeah.
If it's not genuinely misfiring, it's not going to hurt turning those codes off.
I actually seen that on one of the. Someone said that on the forums. He said he kept doing it to him, and he couldn't find anything for months and months and months. So he just got turned off. Yeah.
That's what we'll probably end up doing.
All right. Well, as long as it don't fail an MOT or
No.
a light shining in the face at night.
No, it won't be on. So, has it got the light now then?
It's lights on. Yeah.
So if I read it.
I've just left it on for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, all 4 of them. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Okay, so reset that then. Yeah, so what we're logging there is the engine RPM, and what we're seeing is as you lift with the car in gear, the engine speed will suddenly increase, and when you're going on the throttle, it'll increase and decrease about 200 RPM, which is what we call ringing. Now, physically, it can't be doing that because it's connected solid through your gearbox to the wheels, and the car's got a 1.5 ton weight that's keeping you to constant speed. But it's interpreting that change in the engine RPM as a miss. So I think the easiest option here will just turn those codes off.
Turn the codes off so they won't come back on.
Yeah, because the car clearly isn't misfiring, it's driving as nice as
it's sweet, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least because
we're not damping out the ringing because of the lightened flywheel clutch assembly.
Easy just to.
I've seen that before actually on the data logging on some of the rally cars when you're doing flat shifts. You see the engine RPM do what is physically impossible to do, but because it gives a bit of a chatter and it's trying to calculate the engine speed from the consecutive teeth turning up on the crank trigger wheel, it just loses where it is for a time.
Yeah, because I mean, I can tell it's not missing. So as long as that code doesn't keep flashing on every bloody week or so, then I just get it turned off. It'd be 10 times easier, wasn't it?
Yeah. Drive it up to there, then leave it.
Up there. Right.
Yeah, we'll delete it.
See you later, EML, mate. So what's the process of permanent deleting and management light code?
Well, in the software, I've got a list of all the codes, and I just choose it and turn it off.
Easy as that. I mean, turn every code off. No, don't do that.
So, we'll leave the ones that are important. So similar when you get a CAT PO420.
Oh, is that what you do? Just delete it?
Just
turn it off? Oh, that's all right.
The ECU sort of still detects it effectively, but doesn't tell you.
Right, okay, that's all right. Yeah, make sure the sensor ones come on and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing now, just
Yeah.
sucking out the map that's in there. Although
All right.
I've got it saved in my laptop, but I'll suck it out anyway, just make sure that we've got the right one, and then we'll just delete those codes.
So you take the map off, delete the codes, put the map back on.
That's it.
Right. Why'd you have to take the map off to do that?
To make sure I've got the right map.
Oh, right, okay.
I mean, I have got it saved in my laptop, but I could always change that and flash it in, but I always 100% take the map.
Take it off.
Then I know that
Oh, so you're not messing about with the map?
Then I know that's the last map we did.
Ah, right, okay. So, have you ever done anything with Subarus where like you just save a map and then you just set, because I've got a lot of guys on the Mazda scene where they have an access port and people just send them a map and then they just download it onto their access port. Do you ever do that with any Subarus or anything like that?
I wouldn't risk it with any cars really, because you know, in theory this map that you've got here could do another WRX with a TD04, but if the fuel pressure's slightly different and it runs lean, you can melt a piston, you know, or the maths reading slightly different because of the airbox you've got on. Right. So yeah, no,
you wouldn't do any of that.
I get people a lot of the times abroad, particularly with the Simtech ECU, say, can you send me a map? I say, yeah, but it's a base map.
It's on your head, mate.
Yeah. It's not good for business really, because invariably if you send somebody a map and they put it in, even though you warn them, and then the thing blows up, they'll always turn around and say, oh,
well, it's a map. It's a map. Yeah.
So no, I don't like doing that really. You've got to get away with it on diesels.
Right. Because they're bulletproof.
Yeah. There we go, and there's the misfire. So P0301 misfire cylinder 1. Turn off.
Oh, easy as that. And that's how you make a car never misfire ever again?
No, make it never tell you it's misfire ever again.
That's what I'm going to title the video, how to never make your car misfire ever. It's cool stuff, isn't it? And now we have the power back.
Right, there we go, Lee.
Amazing.
Well, I hope that fixes it.
Well, even if it doesn't, we'll never know now. So shout out to Steve again, legend. Coming down. Bloody hell, he's put my seat bit back. So what we've done is that he was saying that he was getting these jumps in revs. It's the flywheel or one of the pulleys that are basically causing the engine to rattle, and it's thinking that the RPM is going different, but it's actually not. So we've just knocked them codes off so they won't come back. It's driving fine, and it's a lot easier doing that than taking the whole bloody engine apart, trying to find out why there's a little bit of rattle in the line flywheel. So we've just took that off, and I might go and see Richard because Richard doesn't live that far, and you all love Richard, so we're going to go see Richard. I've just messaged Richard and he said he's not in the garage, his dad's in hospital, so we're going to go home. But I hope your dad's okay, Richard, if you are watching this. But we're going to go home, lads. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. It's probably going to be quite long because when Steve is talking, he's kind of the type of guy there you don't want to edit anything out because everything he says is like important. So some guy nearly reversed into me. Does he want some? Does he fucking want some? Another day, another dollar Stella, another problem fixed. Oh, just what we need while we get a little bit of a tan. When you don't have a bottle opener, but I need two hands. Lovely jubbly.